The 2025 Burning Man murder mystery continues. And folks, this story is really heating up. I mean, it is really getting spicy. So make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and be sure to hype up the channel, hype up the video. But anyways, as I said, this story is starting to really get crazy because now a man has been reported missing. One of these Burning Man attendees has been reported missing, and we know that someone was found dead at Burning Man in a pool of their own blood. And the cops can't identify the man. But here is the missing person. Urgent. Missing person. Vadim Kroglov, age 37, description, light brown hair, stubble. Last seen at the Burning Man Festival 4 days ago. He has not been in contact since. His tent and belongings were at camp, but he never returned. Please share this info widely. If anyone has seen Vadim or has any information, please let us know. We are very concerned and hope he will be found. Now, a lot of people are speculating that this must be the victim. This must be the guy that they found. But I would argue, if that was the case, then why is law enforcement saying that no one is talking, no one has come forward? Why can't law enforcement identify the victim if there's a missing, persons post and there's people actually looking for the victim? Law enforcement literally today was asking the public, they were asking people who attended Burning Man, basically begging them to come forward with information. No one is talking. No one is saying anything. There's this missing persons post out there now. People are looking for this guy, but I feel like if this was the victim, police would know. And they would say, hey, we identified the victim. They're not saying that, though. So the question arises, the question that came to my mind, and sorry, Vadim, I'm not trying to place nothing on you here, but could this be the suspect? Could this missing person be the suspect? And after they did whatever they did, they skipped town, they left their friends and everyone they knew high and dry at the Burning Man Festival, maybe met someone else and hitchhiked it the hell out of there. Or this person could just be a totally unrelated missing persons case. People go missing at Burning Man all the time. Usually they're found before Burning Man is over, though. And Burning Man is over now. And this guy still hasn't been found. So this could be a totally just unrelated situation, folks. Crazy things happened at Burning Man. Someone was literally electrocuted. Some woman didn't even know she was pregnant and had a baby. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there. So maybe this could be another victim for all we know. Or this could just be someone else that got into another weird, kind of crazy situation out there and winded up missing. But regardless, this just makes the story even scarier and even more concerning if you ask me. Because now we got someone murdered, we got someone missing, and it feels like it could be related, but maybe not. And as I just explained, if this missing person is the victim, I feel like law enforcement would have confirmed that by now. So either this is a suspect or something totally unrelated. Hey, maybe this guy was just out there, got high and met a girl and just ran off somewhere in an RV that just rode out. Anything can happen at the Burning Man Festival. And people are not in their right state of mind out there. But the festival has wrapped up. Everyone has dispersed. And now there's a possibility that law enforcement is not only going to be dealing with this murder investigation, they may have an entirely separate missing persons case on their hands at the same time. And there is very little evidence that they can find out there. So if they're going to have a hard time finding out what happened to the guy who was killed, I imagine they're going to have a hard time finding the guy who went missing, if it is unrelated, if it is a different person. And if you have watched my previous videos on this topic, you already know how I feel about Burning Man. I get that there's a fun aspect to it. It's interesting. The artwork is sometimes cool and fascinating. But I definitely feel like there's a demonic kind of side to Burning Man, a very culty side to Burning Man. And anyone who can just look at Burning Man and deny that, they just have to be in pure and utter denial. So I do believe there's a possibility that people are literally getting sacrificed out there. And I know that may sound crazy to some, but yeah, the people out there are kind of crazy. Not all of them, but there's a lot of kind of crazy people out there. And there's a lot of normal people out there that are acting crazy because they're on all types of stuff. And I think there's just, I don't know, an energy out there. People kind of act weird once they go to Burning Man. And I've heard from people who used to go to Burning Man for years, and they kind of, try to just stay away from all of that stuff nowadays because they acknowledge that it's demonic and there's this weird, dark spiritual aspect to it. So, yeah, I do think there's a possibility that people are literally getting sacrificed out there. And I say that because, for one, just look at Burning Man, but also people have sacrificed themselves at Burning Man. So, whenever you have an event where every year people have to get tackled by police to stop them from throwing themselves into a giant fire as a giant effigy is burning, you got to consider that, hey, maybe those people, instead of throwing themselves in the fire, will just off someone else for whatever reason, whatever they believe in. You might not believe in the crazy stuff they believe in, but some of these people believe in some wild stuff. Out of the 70,000 people that are all gathered around the Burning Man effigy, a lot of people out there aren't thinking much of it. A lot of the people out there are just there to party. But for some people, there's a more serious aspect to it. And those people can do crazy things. So we got a man missing. We got a man murdered. We don't know if it's the same person. And if it's not the same person, that makes the story even crazier. But for now, you guys let me know what you think down below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.